Thank you for staying tuned. Now, when we talk about safeguarding the oil and gas sector, it's more than just protecting pipelines. It's about ensuring transparency in operations, securing host communities' trust, and tackling oil theft that costs Nigeria billions, as well as preparing for a world that's already transitioning away from fossil fuels. So, to help us unpack these angles, we are joined an experienced voice in the field, an oil and gas expert, engineer Godwin Ibe. He joins us virtually. You're welcome on the program, engineer. Thank you for joining us. Well, I'd like us to start with some of the figures that have come up. Now, reports show that Nigeria lost about $7.2 billion to crude oil theft and vandalism between 2022 and 2023. Now, how do you assess the scale of the threat to national revenue generation, especially with how it is important to the conversation we're having today regarding protection of the oil and gas sector and safeguarding it?
Yes, thank you very much. The issue of theft of oil in Niger Delta has been kind of a recurring decimal. And in time past, government have done and the oil companies have done quite a few things to try and stem the tide. But you see, it looks like there is a kind of a cartel involved in these thefts. With people in high authority, being involved. So it is a source of revenue gain for the country, and the earlier we're able to stem the tide, the better. For example, some of the pipelines have hundreds of bunkering points, that the boy received to bunker, and I'm sure they are supported by people possibly in high quarters or people who have left the system and they are used to familiar with the infrastructure. But it's a continuous battle that the country has to face and then try to stem the tide so that we can recover all those revenue that are being lost through theft. Thank you.
All right, Engineer Ibe. Well, when you look across the happenings within the oil and gas sector in Nigeria, and let's talk about the Niger Delta region now, where, of course, we understand is the hub of oil activities. Now, do you think that these issues can be nipped in the bud? Where do you think that the problems are? Is it when we talk about management, or are there other underlying issues that we are yet to address effectively, which of course could go towards ensuring that the oil and gas sector is safeguarded as effectively as we would want it to be?
Yes, stemming the tide or solving the problem is going to be by a combination of steps or combination of efforts. You don't tie it to one angle or one area. Managing the resources has to be there. For example, in the IOCs and the NNPC itself, they have to make sure that things are done properly. Making sure that proper accountings are kept. And then of course we do not expect to have people partake in corruption in high quarters. Where if that happens, then it's a loss of revenue. And then in the field also, you have to ensure that the facilities are well maintained, and those pipelines that need repair, particularly, have to be taken care of, or the facilities that need to be maintained, make sure they are properly maintained. So it's a combination of efforts. It's not just a unidirectional campaign. It's going to be a multi-directional campaign. Managing their facilities, training the people, making sure that people are well trained, and of course making sure people are motivated to be committed to the cause of the nation and the cause of the country. So it's going to be by combination of efforts, not just one single unidirectional campaign.
Now, when we talk about the place of technology in ensuring that the oil and gas sector is effectively safeguarded, we know countries like Saudi Arabia and Norway have deployed technology towards ensuring that they are effectively monitoring their pipelines. Why do you think Nigeria has been slow towards ensuring that they are able to adopt this method?
You see, the infrastructure in Nigeria is very weak. For example, fiber optics technology is not very strong here. Even the ordinary, what do you call it, our systems, our networks, they break often. So the fiber optics network is very, very weak here. So it's not easy to maintain consistent provision of communication. Even power. How much power do we generate in Nigeria? Maybe max 5,000 megawatts. When countries like Saudi Arabia will be, producing tens of thousands of power for their limited population. But for a population of 230 million, we're only supplying, 5,000 megawatts of power, which is far from being enough, empowering our infrastructure. Hence, we are talking of solar and other renewables. So one of our greatest problems in Nigeria is lack of infrastructure. Telecommunication, power, facilities. So they are not there. So it's be out of place to compare us with Saudi Arabia, where things are very much organized. There's patriotism in Saudi Arabia. So ours is we're still at the lowest rung of the ladder in terms of development. No power, no development, no commitment, no development. And our institutions here are also very weak. But in Saudi Arabia, the institutions are functional. Hence workers and participators are kind of enabled. But the enabling environment here is not the best for us to be able to use technology properly, effectively.
All right.
Technology, you need power, you need infrastructure to use technology.
All right, Engineer Ibe. Well, let's talk about this recent signing by Nigeria of a deep water oil contract with Total Energies, which they say is in a bid to boost its oil sector. What do you make of this initiative or this move? Do you think it is a step forward in the right direction?
Yes. It's a step in the right direction. I know Total and Sapetro, NNPC have signed a deep offshore contract, a very good thing, and I'm sure it's going to work with the kind of money that will be committed to it and the effort. That is why we are trying to, as a speak, we are trying to set up an energy and advisory infrastructure advisory group, that will help in supporting government and organizations, in ensuring that our energy security is enhanced, our infrastructures are enhanced, and then we make sure that these things give a positive input, to all the things that are being done. So on the 10th of this month, we are going to launch that energy and infrastructure advisory group. It's going to be a virtual launch, and I think ADBN will also do a bit of work for us, to disseminate information, and so that organizations can kind of come to use the services of that advisory group. It's an energy and infrastructure advisory group, set up in form of a company.
All right, as your parting shot now, how does this directly impact the oil and gas sector, especially when we're talking about safeguarding the oil and gas sector? Does it have a direct impact on the hopes that we're having towards ensuring that the Niger Delta region is more sufficient?
Yeah, it's going to have both direct and indirect impacts, in the sense that if things are properly handled as we plan to do, we're going to enhance and beef up skill of professionals. Mind you, there is quite a bit of loss in professional in the country. People are moving abroad because of poor conditions of service here. So all those people that have left, and also people are also leaving by attrition. They get to retirement age, and then they want to leave and do other things. But with this advisory group, which is made up of 16 experienced and retired professionals, we should be able to help to beef up the expertise and experience of those who are working in the oil industry, and then hopefully they will deploy all this knowledge to improve our facilities and improve production, and then get them trained in use of technology that can easily be applied in our environment. So it's going to have both direct and indirect impact. With support of all and sundry, support from government, support from the operators, and support from the community, who are very, very important. The communities are so essential to us. Of course, we gain some mileage in terms of achieving better production. Bottom line, we want to get more production, at reasonable cost, and then we get more revenue for the country. And hopefully, some revenue could be used to develop our infrastructure and empower the economy.
All right, Engineer Ibe. Just one more question before I let you go. Now, recently, the NNPCL has been in the news regarding the protest that was held in Abuja, talking about the leadership tussle and calls for the resignation of the GCEO, Ojulari. Now, what do you make of all of these NNPCL brawl? Do you think that it is a leadership issue, or there is a better way to go about resolving the issues right there?
Well, mind you, the new GMD of NNPCL just coming. I think he came in on 2nd of April this year, which is just about 4 months or thereabout. A lot needs to be done. So I think he should be given a bit of time to find his feet and then move us forward. But so far, I wouldn't say there has been 100% action, but what's been done, I think, is in the right direction. So maybe we should give a little bit more time, to get all his acts together, and of course with his lieutenants who are going to work with him, who are working with him.
All right. Thank you very much, oil and gas expert, Engineer Godwin Ibe, for speaking to us on Niger Delta today. We appreciate your insights on the program.
Thank you. It's nice being with you. Have a great day.
All right.